Okay, thank you. Hello, my name is Leticia, and I'm going to present an overview on the Engineering Center. I participated in the missions 49 and 50 of Habitat Marte, and I'm going to go quickly through the first topics, and then I'm going to focus more on the protocols. So the visual concept, we already have this view from previous presentations. The idea is that the structure of the engineering center is divided in 3 floors and an inflatable structure. So here at the base, we would have the laboratories for prototyping activities, such as activities with materials, um, recycling, for example. And the first floor up, we would have the laboratories to work with software, like computer vision and monitoring, etc. And in the upper floor, we would have the living area with the dorms and the bathrooms, toilets, and also like this entertainment area. A suggestion that I put here is that we have a garage to have the rover and other exploring vehicles. So here I'm not going into many details, but I separated for each floor. We have different structures to work with the different laboratories that I described. The functionalities of the engineering center are basically the installation and maintenance of different systems in the entire base, as the life support systems and definition of alerts, the automatization of different environments, the definition of deadlines for construction and development in the entire set, in the entire camp, and the environment monitoring, such as the pressurization and artificial atmosphere, monitoring the greenhouse and the power center. And also, we have to work in close and frequent contact with the power center, launch center, and greenhouse. Also, we have to work with safety and protection from, for example, radiation, dust storms, and possible invaders. Um, we have to plan the optimal utilization of the payloads together with the other centers because we are going to have many trips between Earth and Mars. And we have to guide and perform the research and development and give supports to research and development projects of other centers. So here I separated some crew members. Oops, there's a typo there, sorry. So we have the chief engineer, which who has to perform the daily inspection, direct communication with the other centers, has to report to the main station and the other stations as problems and emergency situations. The person has to deal with these problems. Has also to monitor the protocols, and it is like a project manager instead of a technical engineer. For that, we have the technical assistants who are, I put here 3 people, and they are supposed to do the R&D activities, the technical tasks that were assigned by the team, the maintenance of the different systems, and other specific. For that we have to have more specific professional profiles, such as electrical engineer, or mechatronical, or mechanical. We also have to have 2 researchers who were supposed to do the inspection of the systems, who are focused on the development of the technologies related to the terraforming and base expansion. So once we are there, we have to expand our base, and we also have to start thinking about how you're going to transform Mars more like into Earth. So that's why we have 2 researchers working on this topic. And a visitant, I put this here so we can have crew members exchange between the centers. And I think this would be also good for the health of the crew, because people would have different tasks and different environments. I put also here that it's good that we have day and night shifts, and this will be rotated. So here in the R&D, these are the main projects that I thought we could have. We have to work on reusable launch systems, rockets. We have to work on monitoring systems and the protection and defense systems. In the software area, we have to work specifically with artificial intelligence and computational vision. Just a second. Okay. And also, we have to work with the spacesuits to make it better, to make them better, to work with new materials, to try to find new materials, or as we saw in the previous presentation, to understand better how Mars can give us material to explore. Also, we have to work with drones and other aerial small vehicles that could have better view of our area, and also the terraforming. I also put here satellites and probes because once we are set there, we are supposed to start having remote sensing, location, and meteorology. And this could be, of course, done from Earth, but being there, this is also going to be done. Explorer robots, this is the focus of a mission in Mars. So we could have modular robots, as you can see in this last picture here, or the rover, the second picture. Is also the most used one. We also have to work with Mars and Earth communication systems since we are going to have Mars, for example, as a second planet. We have to have a perfect communication, optimal communication. I also added here, I'm not going into details as we also saw in the previous presentation a lot about this, but we would use the additive manufacturing, which is a 3D printing to make constructions. Another idea is to use the 3D printing, but not with the regolith, but instead with ice. And we also could use this type of manufacturing not only to build houses and stations, but also to build or make components, utensils such as plates and things like that. So now going into the protocol, I separated 5 types of protocols. We have the routine protocols, safety protocols, the entertainment ones, the 3D printing protocols, and the emergency protocols. So at first, the routine protocols. So basically, our routine will have daily meetings before the workday for each shift, meals together with the teams and pauses for personal exchanges so we can have a connection of the group, a daily physical exercises and meditation to work on our body and mind, the separation of components for recycling. This is very important because we don't have so many components. We also have to not exceed our working times so we don't get saturated or overwhelmed. We have to, at the end of the day, report the activities that were developed during the workday. Oops, sorry. And we have to write on our personal journals if that's the crew member likes to do. This is a good idea, I think, to keep track of your personal feelings during the stay there. So second, the safety protocols. We have to go through the air chambers for cleaning when coming back for external missions or interactions at other centers. We have to have a daily environmental disinfection, and this could be automated. So we would have an automated system for this disinfection. We have to also disinfect our hands frequently. We have to have a fire detection system and the specific protocols for fire, for fire emergency. We have to have a power backup system. This is with the power center. And we have to simulate frequently different emergency situations, such as the fire one, for example. The entertainment protocols are focused on the better state of mind of the crew members. So we could have, or we must have, a good connectivity at the station. I mean, Wi-Fi and communication also inside the station. We have to have activities that bring up the sharing of emotions or feelings, like circles of discussions, active meditations in group, or examples of that. And activities just for fun, as playing games and cards and movie sessions, and creative activities such as painting, music, dance, cooking, and cultural exchanges, since we are thinking about having this very international team. Frequently, we should have this frequently inside the center and at the main station with the entire team. And maybe periodic short vacations, like really short, because you're on Mars and we really are in that only environment. We cannot have too much time. This could be way worse. So the 3D printing protocols, at first we have to check the printing weight line, then we have to define the printing time for our specific printing, 3D printing activity. We have to report the progress and pay attention to and report the amount of material that is being used versus the amount of material that is still available. And we also have to perform the material testing after we are done to check if the material is resistant, or we have to perform, for example, vibration testing. Okay, so at last we would have the emergency protocols. I'm just concluding. At the lockdown, if this is an idea that if we have a lockdown emergency situation, we have to have isolating suits for interaction outside the center, frequent virtual interaction between the crew, care about the food, and also disinfection, of course, of the ambient, of the environment, and the person. And external threats, we should deal with different level alerts, immediate communication between all the members, and of course, the research and development on defense technologies, as I mentioned before. So that was it. I really tried to do it fast. I hope I did it okay. If anyone has questions, I'm open to your questions.
Okay, Leticia, thanks so much for your presentation.